Hey guys, how you doing? This is actually the first operational part of our CRUD operations, and however we are going to do this. Well, for the first part we are going to build up our create function, and we are going to send data to our API and get results. Actually we are going to insert a new row in our database. If you are familiar with web development, this is not your first course, which probably is not going to be your first course, which is not your, which probably is not your first course, this is going to be familiar to you anyway. And lots of web frameworks, the first operation and one of the most crucial operations that you will always do and you will always need to work with is actually CRUD, and the first part is creation of a row. Well, for this I need to modify my user table a little bit. Okay, we are going to learn something here. First of all is that we can set some properties for our table here. Well, I want to change the name of the table from user, which is set here. This is just fucking user. I don't like it. I would like it to be users to user, from user to users anyway. I'm going to set these to users, okay? And I'm going to add an email field, which is going to not to be indexed. An email field and actually a family name field, and I need to set a default for each one of these in order to avoid any mistakes. Okay, we are set here, and now I'm going to run my project and check my database to see if anything changes here, because I have added this here. I probably expect that these columns to be added automatically in here. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, seems like that the connection is okay and everything is running. Let's refresh it. So we see nothing has changed here. Okay, we see everything is same, and that's not what we want anyway. How do we make these changes to be available in our database? Well, that is super simple. If you come from a PHP background, actually, if you work with Laravel, if you worked with, I don't know, Flask, if you especially work with Django, you know that that's super simple. We call this making migrations, and in Django it was just like super simple. I believe it was admin and make migrations or something like that. After every change, it automatically makes your migrations, which is not available in Flask and especially not available in Fast API, which makes us a little bit miss or Django. However, let's see how can we do the same thing here. That's super simple and straightforward. Okay, however, we are going to use a library called actually Alembic, which is created by creator of SQL Alchemy, which is the guy who which is actually one of the fathers of our favorite library SQL model, which means that we probably can use this here, but we need to make some modifications. And however, it's not really nice and user friendly documentation here. Anyway, let's do this. I'm going to install Alembic using my terminal. The installation is done actually. Now, how can I use this Alembic here? Let the indexing be complete. I am going to use Alembic init migration. I believe it was it, yes. Alembic init migration, and that will build me a folder called migration here. That's super simple. And now I have alembic.ini, which is the settings file for our Alembic here, and that's going to let me work with Alembic. And in this alembic.ini file, I have a line called sqlalchemy.url, which we need to modify this. How do we modify it? We are going to use our database URL here. Super simple. Where was it? Database URL here, and that's it. You need to copy this whole URL here and paste it in alembic.ini. Okay, that's it. We are done with alembic.ini. Now we are going to work with script.py.mako, which is in our migration folder. In this folder, we are going to actually import SQL model just under our SQL Alchemy as SA. That is that simple. Okay, I would like not to make too much modifications here, and that's it. One final step is going to be adding our we are going to add SQL model actually main class here from. We're going to say SQL model import SQL model. That's it. And I'm also going to add my classes here from add my models here, which is going to be from model.base import all here, and I need to modify something target method. I'm going to modify target metadata, which is going to be SQL model.metadata. Well, if you check it here, we are sending SQL model as our parent class to every single model that we have around here. Okay, this contains some data about these guys, and we are going to use the metadata here. We are passing the metadata to this guy, so it somehow knows how to where to track the changes and things like that. Okay, that's it. And now I'm going to build our first migrations. I'm going to say alembic auto, I believe, revision dash auto migration, I believe. Auto migrate or auto migration. It was, I believe it was auto migrate. However, let me increase the size of the console. Okay, now you can see what I'm doing here. However, there are some bugs in this guy. Anyway, dash M to give it a message. Well, added extra comms. You can say this message, you can type anything you want here, and I believe I made a mistake. Let me check the documentations. Okay, I just cheated from the main documentation. That was not auto migrate, that was auto generate. However, we are going to change something here. Auto generate dash M, and that's it. Done. I see this message, that means it's done. Okay, let's see our folders. In the versions folder, I see a new file, a new Python file. It says some revision ID, some upgrade function. I will get the fuck down, and some downgrade function. That the main shit that this guy does is actually edits my table to what I want. That's all. Okay, and you don't even need to care about what he does. Anyway, where is this guy? Anyway. Now, how do we set these migrations? We are going to say alembic upgrade head. Actually, I see this down here, and I'm going to refresh it here. Table I'm going to actually show database list. I'm going to reopen this guy. Now my now actually this session needs to be closed. Okay. Yes. Now my users table. First of all, you can see the name is changed. This is why exactly that the table plus gave me that error, because I changed the table name from user to users. Anyway, and that's why guy gave me error. And as you can see, we have added some extra columns called name, family, and email. Super simple. Now let's get back to our main job and learn how to create a create function.